What's up, y'all? What up? What up? Here we go. Here we go. Started with that love, turned into a fight. I'm using wigs to cover up, running from the light. Why me? I thought this would why me? Some people are screaming, why me right now? I never go through this. That's what I call myself, lying here broken with. I heard the voice of someone else. Listen to these words right here. Beautiful stars create great stars. You're a beautiful soul, designed to live, to learn, and to grow. Take my hand, see the places you go. Hey, it's more than just words. Recognize your own. You gotta recognize your worth during these times, all the time. That's right. Listen, your worth is not in the things of this world. Hey, in a year you'll be doing much better. Take a look in the mirror. I made a promise. Look in the mirror. No more giving in to fear. Yo, it's time to stand up. Listen, I got a life to live. See, I got dreams, and no one can take them from me. Hey, here we go. Here we go. See, never again will I go through. Oh. It doesn't define me. It's all in the past. Oh, beautiful stars create great stars. This will all be over in a minute, and you're gonna have a scar that gives a beautiful testimony if you choose and to grow. Take my hand and see the places you go. It's more than just words. What's up, you guys? Come on in the room. Come on. Recognize your own worth. Definitely necessary lyrics. Recognizing your worth. Don't let what happened to you or what you're going through define you. You are valuable and you will overcome. Right now, sing it with me. Here we go, ladies. Like this, ho. Taking my life back. Listen, you're worth much more than that fear, that worry, that stress. Taking my life back, yeah. Come on in, y'all. Say what's up when you get in the chat. You know how we do. Y'all know how we do. What's going on? Facebook, YouTube, Instagram. Worth much more than that, yeah. What's up, you guys? Hey, everybody, what's going on? Boom. Yeah, you guys, that's a song that I made for, it was a domestic violence something. I don't know. Anyway, well, first it was actually to me. Actually, when I went on and wrote that song, it was just to me. I was I was reflecting back in gratitude. And so originally, like the core of the song came from domestic violence and the experience that I had. That's why the first verses, it started with I love you, then it turned into a fight. I'm using wigs to cover up. I'm running from the light. Why me? I said I would never go through this. It literally came just like a stream of lyrics. And when I look at that song, it was on my heart this morning because I'm like, there's so much in the air that, you know, you're just like, wait, what is happening? I thought I would never go through this. And what I love about the core of that song is that in that dark time for me, what I did was turn to my faith, which, you know, most people, they don't want to hear that message right now because things are real. But I'm just trying to tell you, that's what's going to keep you long after the coronavirus is gone. Okay. Do you guys see the song is number one? I can with the internet, undefeated. I'm about to make my shake because, of course, I get on here hungry. So you guys, this cup is so cool. I wish I need to get an affiliate link for this cup. So this cup, you just push a button and it makes a little cyclone. How amazing is this? Boom. Look at that. Isn't this amazing? It's so freaking amazing. I got it on Amazon, you guys. And then when I did the voice audition, this lady took it from me. And so I had to go order another one. So I'm excited. So this is soy, gluten-free, soy-free, dairy-free, vegetarian. And what it does is like I'm not a super breakfast person or like or whatever. So it has like protein in it, tons of minerals and vitamins, as well as it's kind of my in between before I eat a big meal. So anyway, that's what I'm doing, just in case you're wondering, because you guys always ask like, what is that? Let's get to the topic though, yo. What's up, Elliot, Ebony, Stephanie? What's happening? What's going on? You guys, let me know where you're listening from. Akia, what's going on? Miss Keys Reed, what's happening? Love this song. I don't think I heard it. I love it too. It's called Beautiful Scars. It's actually only on SoundCloud because I need to do better. So it's only on SoundCloud right now, but I'm going to put all my stuff on all the things. So anyway, moral of the story is we've been talking about the blind men in the Bible. It's a wonderful scripture, and it's about how these two blind men received their sight. And we've been talking about what it takes to go from feeling cloudy, feeling lack of clarity, feeling uncertain, feeling like you are bothered. What does it take to speak out when other people are telling you to be quiet? What does it take to do what you are called to do, even though everyone else is like, not right now? And so I love the story because it's just a reminder that God hears your heart, and you don't have to be somebody super, super important. You could be feeling unclear, and with a simple cry out and an intention and an expectation on that cry. You got to have an expectation on the other end. You can't just be crying for crying's sake. That ain't going to get you nowhere, honey. Not nowhere, not never, not now, not ever. So what you want to do is actually look at the characteristics of Jesus in this book. Look at the characteristics of these two men. Look at the characteristics of the crowd and look at how they play with each other. Jesus heard their heart. Jesus asked them clearly what they wanted. What do you want me to do? I'm reading Matthew 20, and it's verse 32. Jesus stopped and called them. What do you want me to do for you? And so what's interesting is that life is always asking you that question. What's interesting is that life is always asking you that question, and you always have the opportunity to get certain about what you desire, even in the midst of uncertainty. And so here's the thing about uncertainty. Right now, we have a lot of uncertain things and people are panicking. And so, if you practice a life of panic, of worry, if you practice the idea that your source is one particular job or your pension or something like that, instead of understanding that God is my source and he always provides resources. I am never stuck. I am never going to be forsaken. I am never lonely. I am never any of these things that my mind is trying to tell me. And it's only trying to tell me that based on what I physically see, smell, touch, taste. And so what you have to do is make sure that you're tuning into the right source. Some of us are tuning into the wrong source. There's absolutely nothing wrong during this time, especially to pay attention to facts. Some of you guys are not using your common sense and you're doing things, which is why they got to lock things up because people are not. Common sense ain't so common, right? And the other part is that understand that, listen, what's happening in the economy right now, you're going to be okay. It sucks right now. And yes, there may be a lack of food, but everything else can be replenished. And so if you know that to be true, you got to say, you know what? I'm going to go through this the best way I can right now, knowing that God has a supply for me. For every need that I have, there is a supply. For every need that I have, there is a supply. Thank you, God, that you are not old. You're not in the past. You are ever present. And so you are my supply. And every need that I have, it will be met. Once you begin to train your mind this way, when chaos happens, because it always will, you can get through it better than the average person who literally just is used to being a sheep herded by panic and not paying attention. So listen, this is the stuff people don't want to hear, but it is what it is. And I like to be a realist, and I love also to use my imagination. And so the part of this we want to talk about is the fact that these people were blind. And I think that there's two types of blinds. Like there's a blind that you need to have. You need to have a blindness to a lot of the things that your senses see, right? That your eyes see. You need to develop a blindness to a lot of the things because it's making you have the wrong conversations up here. And then there's the other part where you need to ask God to open your eyes spiritually so that you can see during a time such as this. A lot of businesses are just instantly shut down, trying to figure out how to navigate. A lot of my industry friends are live event-based businesses, and now, boom, you can't do live events. I have several friends who lost millions of dollars in live event revenue like that, right? And so that's very real. Some of my businesses that are just getting started, you guys that are online and you follow me, I've been screaming, get on the internet for the longest. And it's just our community in the beauty industry, especially. And then I'm just going to say, I ain't going to say that. there's just a lot of people who are slow to get on, and it doesn't matter. Don't make yourself feel bad. Just know that, okay, well, at least I was thinking about it, and let me kick my butt into gear. Like, it's all about how you see things. It's all about how you see things. So there are two types of blindness. Somebody type, give me the peace sign emoji, or type the number 2 in the comments. Give me the peace sign emoji or type the number 2 in the comments. Also, this cup is everything. So this is the little motor, and it's so travel friendly when we get to travel again. What I love about it is I can be on the plane, ask for some water, take a shake. This can act as a meal replacement if you wanted to, or it can just be a supplement. Like, I love it. I love it. I love it. So I'm really excited about this cup. It makes me happy, and I think I want to sell it. How about that? It's a mixer. You can mix all kind of stuff in there. You can take, so like emergency vitamin, I put a little bit of water and then I just hit the button, mix up my emergency stuff, and then I just drink it because I just can't even be bothered with drinking the whole thing of emergency. I see the 2s coming through. The 2s are a reminder for you today. When you chunk up them deuces, this is your prayer today. God, show me which type. There are 2 types of blindness. This is a reminder. 2 types of blindness that I need. I need to be blind to the stuff that literally is no good for my mental health. And I also need to be asking God to open my eyes spiritually to the things that I need to see. Some of you guys are freaking out because you only are thinking about what's possible based on what you know. Does that make sense? Yes or no in the comments. Let me see. Some of you guys are freaking out because you only are like, the only imagination you have is the little same things that you do every day. So you're forgetting who God is and what the essence of God's character is and what the promises are. You've forgotten. And so your freak out is because you're thinking that what is what I see, and that's all that is. No, like what is, and also exceedingly abundantly above all that I ever imagine or think. So if I am not having on the right blinder number 1, I need to not pay attention to some stuff. Again, during this time, I'm not saying don't pay attention to facts. You need to know facts, because you live in this world and you need to have common sense. Wisdom is common sense. Also, there are some things that you're missing because you're so busy in panic, which is why you need to be blind to some of that stuff. And then you need to ask God to open my eyes to what I have access to spiritually. Give me discernment on how to move as it relates to these children, these finances, my body, my health, everything. God, give me spiritual discernment so that I can see what it is that you need me to see. And God, show me the things that I need to be working on so that I can be clear, because clarity is what gets results. Clarity is what also allows you to see the opportunities and the blessings that you have every single day. You miss it because you are focused on the wrong thing. So there's 2 types of blindness: Akia type 2, Miss Keys type 2, Lashes Forevermore type 2. Twyla Stubfield says, yes, I love it. Natasha Theon says, yes, good. This is making sense to you. I want you to understand that there are options and choices even in the midst of chaos. There is also a huge opportunity even in the midst of chaos. I am not exempt from the chaos, so I do not sit at the mountaintop like, ooh, poor you. Like, no, like at the end of the day, my service providers are struggling. People are like crashing and panicking and canceling things. And so if you cancel, that's how I eat. So guess what? I'm not going to panic about it. What's the worst case scenario? What's the worst case scenario? Why are you worried about rent? Let me tell you, I done seen so many apartments, mine included, sending out notices like, look, we have to help you. We have to help you. Okay. So if you understand that, I see mortgage companies saying we have to help you. I see people looking for ways to help people with bills. So why you tripping? You're not about to get evicted, bro. Not right now. You got 60, 30, 30. But listen, you know how much great stuff can happen in 30 to 60 days in the midst of a chaotic thing? Like, how are you thinking? Most people are trained to think pessimistically. Most people are trained to think you've trained yourself and you fall and prey to, just always seeing things bad. You always see the plastic, whatever you want to call this. The lady at The Voice took this because she said this was glass. And I was like, how, Sway? This is not glass. And then I'm petty. I get on the internet and I'm like looking it up. And I have my friend Google these big old words that this is made of. And she was like, yep, it's glass. And I said what I said. And I was like, Jesus, I pray for these type of people in the world who just like, you just don't like your life. I can't even take it. So lady, I hope you see this good tea for life. This is not glass, boo. And I need you to stay present, follow your girl, because your attitude that day and your energy and just everything was just, I wanted to just help you, because I'm like, you're the person who goes through life and you see things whatever. And I'm just here to invite you to see things differently. Everyone in the comments say, I choose to see things differently. I choose to see things differently. Literally, I'm playing, I'm being silly, but it's real. Like, you got to choose to see things differently, period. You have to, or you will let your mind crumble you and your family. And if you're responsible for some people, I'm sorry, you needed to go ahead and say, God, give me this leadership mentality that you show me through Jesus and in the book. Show me how to lead like Jesus. Show me how to have community and connect, how to have faith, how to be bold and courageous like Jesus, how to be disruptive in a good way like Jesus. God, show me how to understand how abundant you are. What is abundance, God? I know what the world says about abundance. I know what, all these people who believe in all kind of stuff that I don't even know, they're saying, like, Lord, I actually would love to know what your definition of abundance is. Could you show it to me, oh God? See, that's what I started doing, because I started noticing that some of the people that I follow that talk about abundance, it was rooted in some interesting things, and there were some gray areas. And so I said, let me just understand what the word abundance means, and let me understand how it correlates, with the God that I serve. And let me get clear on what is rightfully mine, my birthright. But abundance is your birthright. And if you look at the very nature of God, speaking of nature, if you look at the very nature of nature, it's abundant. There are seasons and there are times and places for things, and you can't escape that. But also, what is true is that a seed is a seed and the earth is the earth, and it replenishes itself, and everything grows in the right environment, and things die, and that's the way that it is. And so there's just this beautiful cycle, and it's just a time and place for everything, and it's okay. Everything's okay. Everything's okay. God is a God that does not lie. You can't, if you just put the word in your heart and live according to the word and live from an abundant space, even in tough times, you're going to be in a completely different energy, which will allow you to see God give us our sight, opportunity, which will allow you to hear, right? Spiritually. And also, because you're not in panic, you see oh, boom, I heard this was happening, boom. And you're in place where you need to be so that you can receive, and you will never be left or forsaken. I'm just saying, try it that way. Look at what you're saying and what you're focusing on. Morning, Miss LM. California grocery store is like a Hunger Games episode. Yeah, I just Amazon Prime my stuff. I don't got time. Literally, they send you all this food and it's at your doorstep. And here we are. Hi, Stephanie. Hello, Elliot. Deborah. Brittany says choose. Yes, I choose to see things differently. You have to. And that's a statement you want to say all the time. I choose to see things differently. It's the acknowledgement of the power that God has given you. That's the power of I am. I am happy. I am sad. That's all the same. Y'all see that? I am broke. I am rich. I am abundant. I am sick. I am tired. I am confused. I am scared. I am fearful. You're always claiming things over your life. So you have to watch what it is that you're saying, which my shirt, for those of you that are like, what in the world? I have this shirt and I just was working out in it and it says hate. And I forgot where I even got this from. But that's why I crossed it out, because I love every day of the week. So anyway, moral of the story is you have to watch your words. You have to watch your words, period, point blank. And then all of us church folk, we need to understand that we're representatives. So you got to look at, how is it that God thinks? And what was Jesus up to? What are these questions that Jesus was asking people? Don't you think these questions are notated for a reason? We're 100% so true, Queen. What's up, JD Mosley? Thank you. Instructor David, what's happening? He says, I choose to visualize. Imagine bigger. Imagine. Listen, imagination is so powerful. How do you think we got on the moon? What in the world? We can get to the moon. I know we can get through this here. I mean, I'm just saying, if my ancestors can go through everything that they went through, I know I'm going to be all right, because I ain't got to go through what they go through. Thank you, Jesus. I don't have to go through what they went through. You know what I'm saying? So I'm just grateful and I'm hopeful. And that's really what it takes. Hope is what's going to carry you. And it's all about your imagination. And so the cool thing about blindness, let's make that point number 3. The cool thing about blindness is that you have your senses. Actually, that was actually one of my, let me give you guys, get your notes. Let me go back to the notes. let me go back to the notes because I already wrote this out the other day. Everything just boom, boom, boom came forth. Where did it go? Oh, there we go. Boom. There we go. So I gave you guys some pointers. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So here we go. Pointers. We talked about being blind. We talked about how we looked at over the past. This is part 3, you guys. So we've been talking about this for a couple of days. And we looked at, blind men. What is the factors of a blind person? And, things feel blurry. Some people are legally blind. Some people are like all the way blind. You know what I mean? Things are blurry. Things are dark. Things are out of focus. And so there is definitely that kind of uncertainty in every day, not just because of the coronavirus, but every day that people are walking around blind all the time, feeling like their life is a blur, because maybe they lost someone. Maybe they're having addiction they're struggling with. Maybe they are, whatever, lonely. I don't know. Figure it out. But here's the thing. It's real. And so when you look at the idea of being blind, there's a requirement, right? Remember the 2 types of blind I talked about today. You need to be blind to a lot of stuff. And then you need to ask God to take off blinders to a lot of stuff that's available to you because we serve an abundant God. So here's the thing. This requires you to trust, take notes, because this is what you're going to need to be depending on and chewing on for the next, how many other days folks are stuck in the house all around the world. Like you need to be thinking about, and I'm in the US. Some people are, of course, I'm in Texas, y'all. So I'm going to just speak for the US folks. But here's the thing. You have to trust. When you're blind, you got to trust the right sources. You got to pray and ask God to show you the right sources. And you got to trust, right? You got to trust your instincts. There is a level of trust. You got to trust God. In blind times, there is so much that you have to trust God for because you have no other way of knowing. There's so much that you got to trust God for because you have there's nothing else that shows you. There is no proof. See, that's what faith is. Blind, it's like there's no proof that this is available to me. There's no proof that I can do this thing. But what I know is I'm built in such a magical way. Anything I put my mind to, if I just clear out the nonsense and become blind to a lot of the stuff that I'm seeing that doesn't serve me, then I can literally overcome anything and make this thing manifest in my life. And so I need to be blind to certain conversations, certain news articles, certain songs, certain people. I need to be blind to certain conversations, period. Right? And so here's the thing. What's up, you guys? I see you guys coming in. My pastor says every word in the Bible is there for a reason. Facts. I choose to see things differently. So the one thing that I shared with you guys the other day, number 1 is trust. And then the next thing is going to be resourcefulness. All the time, I talk about resourcefulness all the time. It's one of my favorite words ever. Resourcefulness. I say God is the source and everything else is a resource. Okay? So if you are blind to something, or if you need to be blind to something, you're going to have to develop a level of resourcefulness, right? Adjusting to the new norm and changes. Like you got to be able to adjust. Listen, I looked at a blog from a blind guy, and he said that one of the things that you have to do when you're blind and you're walking around on the street, he said, instead of street signs and stoplights and stuff like that, you're counting intersections. He said, you're listening for traffic. That's being resourceful. So the next point I want to bring out is the fact that when you are blind to things, you have to ask God to sharpen the proper senses. Does that make sense? Does that make sense? Does it make sense? Does that make sense, you guys? Let me see in the comments. Make sure y'all woke. You have to, hey, royalty baby 2020, what's happening? You have to ask God to sharpen certain senses, because when you're blind, you can cut off one thing and all of a sudden another distraction gets sharper. So you have to ask God to sharpen the right senses. And you got to trust that it's going to happen. And you got to get resourceful on what you need to be able to be working on, what drops in your heart. You see how it all plays together? Trust, resourcefulness, sharpening. There is going to be a sharpening of senses. All right. And then when you are blind to things, or when you're asking God to remove blinders, you need to become a planner. I talked about this the other day. Are you writing these words down? Because here's the thing. I want you to take notes and then go and say, God, show me in my life where I need to trust you. Show me in my life where I can be resourceful. Show me in my life what needs to be sharpened right now for this moment and season that I'm in. God, show me what I need to be planning for. You see how we can just work this thing all the way down to what we're dealing with right now? Can you feel me? Can you feel me? So, is Instagram, can you guys see on Instagram? Let me see. I think, I read on the article how companies are going to be, internet's going to be crappy because let me see. Oh no, it's showing properly over here. Maybe it's just you. Okay, everything's working fine. I'm going to make sure everybody can see. So here's the deal. Here is the deal. Trust, resourcefulness. Hope you're taking notes. Sharpening things is a key. Other things are going to get sharper. So you got to ask God for the right things to get sharp. When you lose sight, a lot of times your hearing gets sharper. Sometimes people lose hearing and sight, and then their memory, they have to really rely on their memory because they just using they're walking in memory and like touch, right? So you got to ask God to sharpen the right things during this season for you. I don't know where you are in this season, in this walk, in this experience, but you got to ask God to sharpen your discernment, okay? And then the other thing, do you guys know what discernment is? Let me pause because I'm assuming that, because that's like I learned that word in church. Do y'all know what discernment is? Do you understand what spiritual discernment is? Let me take a lay of the room. Let me get you some other words so I make sure you understand. Let's see, what say you? This new Facebook, I'm gonna change the update because it is getting on my nerves. Okay, good. I see yeses. What's up, Star? How you doing, love? I see some yeses. Cool. So you understand that. So here's the thing. So I'll give you guys the definition. So discernment is the ability to judge. So when you ask for spiritual discernment, you're asking God to allow you to spiritually be able to judge something according to his word, according to the book. Like when I say discernment spiritually, I'm referencing God's character, God's principles, and asking God to allow you to spiritually, and like when you're talking to someone and you know how you get a vibe, you want to be able to spiritually understand and feel in a certain way. And that gives you insight so that you can be able to make better moves. And so that's why wisdom is important. And that's why asking for spiritual discernment is like your gut instinct, right? And it needs to be judged against something, because sometimes our gut instincts are like, if it's fear-based, that sucks. You don't want to be, so you want to make sure that it's judged against. When I say it, I'm saying it's judged against like the word. Like I'm telling you, it's crazy. I can meet a woman and I can be talking to her, she'll be saying something and God will just drop things in my spirit. I can hear it, I can feel it, and it's so strong. And you can sharpen that. And you're asking God to sharpen that discernment. How do you sharpen it? You learn the principles of the Bible. You learn the principles that are there, and then you practice them. And with that practice, you become what you repeatedly do. So like some of you guys are repeatedly practicing fear. You repeatedly practice procrastination. You repeatedly practice whatever. And so that's why it's what you become. It's what you see, which in a time like this totally freaks you out because you know what you've been practicing. But today is a new day. And there's an opportunity to see things differently. Again, type it in the comments and say it out loud if you can. I choose to see things differently. I choose to see things differently. It doesn't mean you're ignoring what's happening. It's just you choose to see it in a different light. Does that make sense? Let me see the comments. Make sure you guys are still awake. Some people are, whoo, child. Woo, child. Okay, so Shake stuck in my throat. Okay, great. Great. Good. You guys are feeling me. So another word for discernment, judgment. It says in a Christian context, perception in the absence of judgment with a view to obtaining spiritual guidance and understanding, right? So it's just the ability to judge, and understand and see in the spirit, right? It's a sensitivity to things that are happening. And it is certainly wisdom. It's as simple as using wisdom. I love it, Ms. Keys Reed. So here's the deal. Our words so far are trust, resourcefulness. You're asking God to sharpen the proper things. Okay. And then be a planner. You're asking for the ability to plan. If I was blind, my ability to plan is massive because I don't want to be clunking around, in the dark, out of focus. Also, the next one is patience. If I am blind, I require a certain level of patience for myself as well as for other people because people handle your stuff differently than you do. My mom has dementia. Other people, you have to have a certain level of patience to understand how dementia works because the person who is going through that sickness is going to be doing things, saying things, and it could cut you because you see the person that you knew. The person is not the same mentally. And so there's a level of patience that's required on your end as you interact with them. And then other people interacting with them requires a level of patience because they may do things that are interesting. And you have to understand that they may not know certain things. Everyone is not a caregiver. There's so many different things. So it requires a level of patience. Even when someone is sick, how many people are like, it's just interesting, which brings me to the next point. When you are asking God to take off your blinders and you're asking God to sharpen your next best steps and your discernment and your interaction, and you're asking God for the ability to plan, you have to be like these men in the Bible who they were blind. They were sitting on the side of the road. They heard about Jesus. They heard about what he was capable of. And they, instead of getting into their negative chatter of not being worthy, of it just being another day where they are blind, they actually cried out to Jesus. And when they cried out, the crowd actually told them to be quiet. So when you are asking God to remove blinders or to make you blind to certain things, you've got to be bold. You've got to have courage because some people are going to think you're doing too much. Some people are going to think you're awkward and it's not the right time. Some people are going to perceive what you're doing as whatever they think it is, and they're going to be hating on you. Hello, haters. Haters, they're gonna hate. Y'all remember that song? They're gonna, I don't remember the words. That ain't got nothing to do with me and you. That's the way it is. Who sung that? Did anybody remember that? I don't even know who sung that song. I just remember, haters, they gonna hate. Haters. Anybody? Y'all gonna leave me hanging? Whatever. It was a song when I was a kid, I think. Let's Google it. We're about to Google the words. Let's see. Who sung this? Haters, they gonna hate. Okay. 3LW. Who remembers 3LW? Isn't that Adrienne Bailon? Have the times grown? I think that Adrienne was in that group or no? Was she? Maybe not. Maybe that's the wrong group. Nope. There go Adrienne. All right, 3LW. That's a real song, you guys. That is hilarious. Do you guys remember that? Are y'all just gonna leave me hanging on the throwback? Okay, whatever. Anyway, the moral of the story. Okay, good. Thank you. Y'all know songs just pops up in my brain. But the moral of the story is this: you got to have a level of trust. God, show me who to trust, what to trust, what resources do I need to trust? And God, show me during this time and every time, all the time in my life, how to be resourceful, how to make something out of nothing, how to actually take something and, be a resource to other people. Show me how to have resourcefulness, adjusting to the new norm and change, God. Show me, show me, show me. The other thing is, God, show me what to sharpen. Show me what I need to be sharpening right now during this time. The next thing, God, show me what I should be planning. You know, I preach about this all the time. Do you have a place that you can readily see what bills are, what are recurring, what are you planning? Like, most people don't. So the panic isn't as much as it could be less, but most people are just not prepared because we're living our lives without being planners. God, give us management skills. Naturi from Power was on there too. Oh my God, look at how everybody, look at their lives now. It's so amazing. Adrian on the reel, Naturi on Power, getting her whole life because I love Power. Dear Lord. Although the ending was interesting. What y'all think about the ending? We could have predicted that. I feel like they just did us dirty. Or maybe they just answered what we already knew the whole time. But the moral of the story is, you have to ask God. For those of you that are just joining, we're asking God for two types of blindness. We're talking to God. We're talking to God about two types of blindness. A blindness that you need to have to some foolishness, and then the blindness that you're asking God to remove the blinders. You need to remove the blinders so that I can see spiritually what it is that you have me do right now. What resources do I need? Who do I need to plug into? What is the time for me to start? Some of you guys are so busy looking at what you lost. You're missing the time. You're missing the thing that you should be starting right now. Some of you guys are so busy looking at what you are losing that you're missing opportunity. Is loss real? Nothing is lost that belongs to me by divine right. Please adapt that. I don't know which one. I got that a long time ago. Maybe it's Florence Scovel. Maybe it's Catherine Ponder. I don't know. Nothing is lost to me nothing is lost that belongs to me by divine right. What God has for me, nobody can take. Playa. Period. Nobody can take it. And so here we are. So I don't care what I lose in the physical sense. It's not gone. It's not gone. And also, if you got it once, you can get it again. So why are you freaking out? Why? Why, Sway? Why? Gwen says, never heard of it. Brittany says, thank you, Shayma. Shayma says, you look amazing. Thanks. I'm in chill mode. I'm going to have to start getting up and getting dressed, which I already did anyway. I'm always at home. My quarantine doesn't look very different from what I do because I'm always at home these days. So I was already kind of here. Something's flying around. I was already at home, so nothing really changed. And I always order my food, so nothing really changed. Except the fact that you tell me don't go outside, now I want to go outside. Although we're not at the point where they say don't go outside, but I think eventually they're going to do it everywhere because people are just people and they're just going to be like doing stuff without thinking. Let's see. Brittany says she was, and so was Tasha from Power. Right. Okay. Brittany said it on Facebook. Somebody on YouTube was telling me. Hilarious. Hey, I just been watching the Power Show. Did everybody have to die? I mean, well, not everybody died. I believe Tommy gonna get a spinoff. What y'all think? I believe Tommy gonna get a spinoff. But here's the thing. Do I want to see Tommy without Ghost? I mean, Tommy was super entertaining. I love to see Tommy. Like, I really, really love to see how crazy he get. Like, one of my favorite scenes is when Tommy rolled over that guy. He was like, and the guy was like, Tommy, get off of me. He was like, apologize first. I love Tommy's character is fun, but not having Ghost, it's cuckoo that we're sitting here talking about a killer. But I'm just saying, Ghost, I mean, he played the role so well, and he was hot. I mean, and it hurt that he was like extra hot. Ghost was fizzling. I seen him in person. I was in LA. I seen Rotimi, who is Dre from Power, and I ain't even gonna tell that story, but he's short. And I seen Ghost, and he's short. And I was just like, no shade to my short. I love Tommy and Ghost together. So I hope Ghost faked his death, and I hope him and Tommy on some new because they just realized that they are brothers, and here we are. So let's just see, guys. I don't know. It would be really exciting if that came out during the quarantine every week. It'll be something to look forward to every week. I'm just saying. Maybe I should start the season over because, that would be fun too. Free. Nope, him not dead. Okay, how many of you guys think that Ghost is still alive? I think he's still alive. And I definitely, Tariq gets on my last nerves. That's how you know the show is good, when you're really mad. Like, Tariq, I cannot. And who knows a kid like that? I know several kids that act like Tariq. Lorenz is short, and they made him look tall. They made everybody look tall. Ghost ain't tall, and neither is Lorenz, and neither is Dre. My friend told me to stop saying this, but I'm not even gonna say it. Shout out to my short man. I love you. I've dated several short men, so I'm just gonna say I'm not against it like that, you know. I'm just saying it's fun when you be like, hey, babe, mwah. And you know, for me, it hasn't been like that in my history. Lisa Nichols laughs at me because, like, I'm like, how y'all all getting all these 6 feet, whatever? Freeman is y'all, my friend Freeman. He's one of my besties. He's on my Instagram. Freeman is like 6'5", and I call him my husband. He's my gay husband. And one time we was in a grocery store, and he was like, I looked over and I was like, is this what my life would be like if I had a tall man? Oh, we laughed about that. I was like, wow, look at life, walking around the grocery store with a tall man. Oh, anyway, moral of the story is this. I think Tommy gonna get his own. Me too. Look at all the Power fans. Power fans unite. So anyway, you guys, moral of the story is this. We're gonna have to be praying for multiple things here, people. Spiritual eyes. We need our spiritual eyes to be opened, and we need all the foolishness to be closed. The things that we see that deter us from believing, the things that we see that deter us from believing that the sun will come out tomorrow. Like, for real, who sings that? Tomorrow, tomorrow. The sun is going to come out tomorrow. I think that's what the song say. Anyway, it's coming out, you guys. And so because we know that, you don't live from the space of terror today. You live intelligently, you live with wisdom, you live resourcefully, you live planning, but you're not planning with the sense of, if I die tomorrow, the world is over. You're just planning with, the world is shifting and I choose to see things differently. The world is shifting and I choose to see things differently. So here are the pinpoints from this video, and we're going to wrap it up for right now. We're going to wrap it up. I think it's what they are doing stories now. Who? Background stories. Who? Oh, yeah. You're talking about I done finished the season. I finished the season already. Miss Keys. I finished it. You talking about Power? I finished the season already. So anyway, moral of the story is I'm going to give you guys the points that you want to focus on today. Oh, Annie, got it. Look at y'all saying Annie. There's a spinoff, but it's been put on hold. Y'all be having all the inside scoop. Just let me know when it come out, child, because I don't got no TV. I got to go look on the internet. So, okay. Number 1, trust. Who can give me number 2? You're going to win some free music. Who can give me number 2? Number 1 is trust. Let me see. While y'all talking about Power, who can give me the notes that I just talked about? Boom, Miss Keys Reed. Like I didn't start the Power conversation. You know, your mom be like, why you in there switching your hips? Come on in here and quote this scripture. Let me see if you listen to Sunday School. In here popping. I got your pop. I'm finna pop you. That was my mom. Miss Keys, the way that you get your free song, because she was the first one I saw. The second one is resourcefulness. All you gotta do is go to Instagram. Go to Instagram and go DM me. Follow me, Lakeisha Michelle, on Instagram, and then DM me so I can give you your free song download, okay? So here's the deal. Right, number 1 is trust. Number 2, we're going to need an overdose of resourcefulness right now. You need it always. Like, that's how the success stories that we love are from people who are resourceful. Resourceful, meaning that they don't say, oh my God, I'm doomed. I can't until I get. They're like, yo, how do I make this happen with what I got? You know what I'm saying? When I started my online class, my first one that really I did really good is like, I got like over 30 classes now, you guys. The first one that I started, I didn't have a lot of stuff. I just used my computer that I already had, and I bought a $99 camera, okay? And I was like, I'm just going to get on here and see what happens. I'm going to be resourceful. I'm going to talk to people on the internet. I'm going to just see what happens. Like, I don't care. I'm about to make do with what I have. And as more money comes in profit, I'm going to invest it back into my business. Like, this is back in 2014. You know what I'm saying? So understanding that you got to start somewhere, and you got to start with what you have. Some of you guys are like, I don't have this, I don't have that. You better hook them ramen noodles up like you ain't. Who grew up hooking up the ramen noodles, putting eggs in them and stuff, putting all kind of, sauces, eating with the chips at the same time. Baby, I can make ramen noodles taste like something else. You know what I'm saying? So you got to understand that now and always really is the time to be resourceful. Okay? Resourceful. You and your boo locked in the house? Baby, you better have date night. Better put on your extras and girl, get it right. Don't make no babies, y'all. It's too many babies. Don't just calm down. Just, I don't know. Be safe. I don't know. But I'm just saying, resourcefulness. Don't let, because things have instantly changed, make you get in fear. So we have trust. We have resourcefulness. You got to ask God to sharpen the right things. Like, because when you are asking to be blind to certain concepts and blind to certain outside voices that deter you, you got to also ask God to sharpen certain things. Okay. Because you don't want to be blind and then you just, something else is like, you're tuning into the wrong thing and you're sharpening the wrong thing at the wrong time. So God, show me what to sharpen right now during this time. Give me a boost of energy. Find accountability partners. Who can you call and you guys set some fun goals and challenge each other and you check in and you say, hey, let's do a 30-day goal. Let's do something for the next 30 days and let's check in with each other. What is the area that I need to sharpen? That if I sharpen this area, other things will be better. Something as simple as getting a budget. Most people don't understand. Like, I know when I heard the word budget, I was like, okay, I don't even know what that is. And the way that I receive my money, the way that my money's set up, I can't budget like that because I don't even know what's coming. Like, that didn't serve me. I had to choose to see things differently. How many of you guys know that statement is so powerful? I choose to see things differently. I choose to see things differently. I choose to see things differently. Instead of me fighting against what I know to be true, like I know that I need some help, instead of me just fighting stuff, let me just see things differently and trust. Again, there's the first point. You got to trust. God, show me the right resource and help me get resourceful. Oh my God. You see how all of this blends in together? I remember getting a Google sheet and I said, okay, you know what? I'm just going to write everything that I pay. I'm going to look at all the last 3 months, the basic stuff. I'm going to get some type of gauge on what I'm doing. And then I'm going to look at my business and I'm going to use my business properly instead of just, not even paying any attention, just going to work and just dumping, like not monitoring anything, which is why you would be freaked out if you have a business, if that's the way you ran your business. Because I did it. I know firsthand. I remember looking at my bank account going, how, what is going on? And it had everything to do with the fact that I needed to be quarantined. I needed to quarantine myself. I needed to self-isolate myself. I was hanging with people who were sharpening their ability to consume. So what was getting sharper for me, I was picking up their habits. I should have been blind to what they were doing. You see how these words go all into your life? I should have been blind to what they were doing, but I was just kicking it. I was paying attention to shiny objects. And so I was sharpening the wrong things. And so then I found myself stuck like Chuck. So during this time, it's an opportunity. I choose to see things differently. God, I know that things look shaky. I know that I just may have lost my job. I know that my kids are now home and I don't understand how to homeschool and I definitely don't have the patience for this. I know that things have all of a sudden changed so fast. God, I choose to see things differently. I choose to understand and recognize and honor the fact that you have made me so smart, so intelligent, so adaptable. You've given me the ability to dominate anything and everything on this earth. And so, God, I thank you for these abilities. And I ask that you sharpen the right ones, God. I ask that you show me who are my resources, what are my resources? And God, allow me to get resourceful. Allow me to get up early and get into the word and so that I can have a sound mind as we navigate this new terrain. Allow me to understand who I should be spending time with and what conversations I should have. God, allow me to be a better planner. That's the next step. Be a better planner. God, give me the spirit of management. Give me the spirit of planning. Show me how to look at my life on paper in all of these different categories and show me how to plan properly so that me and my house, God, we are centered and grounded in you. And we know that you will never leave us or forsake us and that you will allow us to have peace during this time and intelligence and wisdom. God, we know that all things will be restored because that's just the way that it goes. Even if it takes time, we know that for however long it takes, as long as it takes, there is a light at the end of the tunnel. Things will be restored. And I want to be on the other end of that restoration, whole and full of joy, full of peace, with a testimony that brings nothing but honor to your name, God. So show me how to be an excellent planner. God, show me. God, show me. God, show me. And allow me to have an at-once spirit. I talk about this all the time on Good Tea for Life. An at-once spirit is a spirit where when you get an unction to do something, you move at once. You move at once. You don't wait to see what other people are doing. In the passage that we read today, the two blind men were sitting on the side of the road. They heard that Jesus was going by. Instead of them waiting to see, well, they couldn't see. Instead of them waiting to hear and kind of wait it out, they began to cry out. And their heart is what caught Jesus' attention. You think about how many people were surrounding Jesus. Thousands of people surrounding Jesus, all caught up in the hype. all caught up in the hype. Meanwhile, these men, they lived a life of being discounted. They lived a life of being overlooked. They lived a life of being in the dark. They lived a life of things looking blurry and confused, but they chose to see things differently spiritually. They chose to see things differently spiritually. Shonda says, you better preach. They chose to see things differently. And so what happened was they began to cry out and people began to ridicule them. But guess what? Who has the last laugh? Jesus looked at them and said, he called to them and said, what do you want me to do? The level of clarity, your questions and your answers are powerful. If you're just saying why, you're not going to get answers. If you say, God, how can we use this, as an opportunity for you to get glory? How can you show me how to navigate this? God, I promise I will give you all of the glory, praise. I will look and see what was the formula that got me to this point, and I will share it with people so that they know that you are the source and you've provided us so many resources. And so we can continue to grow through all of the crazy times. God, I thank you. See, these are conversations that you get to have all day, all day, all day, all day, all day. And the more you have them, the more it becomes what you do in the midst of panic, in the midst of worry, in the midst of fear, in the midst of uncertainty. But it all starts with that invitation that you have to give yourself. I choose to see things differently. I choose to see things differently. That's it. That's all. That's it. That's all. You guys share the stream. So let me give you the words again. I love it. Resourcefulness. That's right. So here's the thing. Trust, resourcefulness, sharpen. That's just, I don't know. I need to get into the word for that, but other things are going to get sharper. Being a better planner, asking God for patience. These are major 5 things right now that will help you every single day, especially during this time. I love you for watching. I am Lakeisha Michelle. This is Good Tea for Life. And I will be back, of course, with another video. And we're just going to continue this conversation. What does trust look like right now for you? I trust you, and though it's not easy, sometimes the pain in my life makes you feel far away. But I trust you. You got to watch what you're singing. Change your song, change your life. What are you singing? What are you paying attention to? What are you sharpening right now? Where's your faith? Powerful, powerful thoughts. UK in the building. Lynette, what's happening, love? Stephanie, what's happening? What's happening? What's happening? I love it. Regina, what's going on? I love you guys for hanging out as usual. Facebook, YouTube, Instagram. I'm going to keep being me. I'm going to be here until the wheels fall off. Period. So I love you guys for hanging out. And that's it. You guys keep a sound mind. Meditate. Seriously. You know what I'm saying? And find joy, find peace, find gratitude every single day. And you'll just begin to see all of the blessings that are available to you even during this time. I love you for watching. See you guys on the next video.